This NFL Futures Recap edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Colorado, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, and Arizona. For boosted parlays to in-game odds on every major sport, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign today to receive a $1,000 risk-free sports bet. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Better Fantasy. Better Fantasy is a new free-to-play app that lets you sync your fantasy football league and bet on the head-to-head matchups. Download the app today or just head to betterfantasy.com/SGPN. That's betterfantasy.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposit to receive up to $500 in bonus cash. Head over to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app today. We're also brought to you by SoBet. Sign up to bet against your friends and join the social betting revolution at SoBet.io/SGPN. That's SoBet.io/SGPN. And of course, don't forget to download the SGPN app, your home for all of our free picks and podcasts.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer Dog?
We made it, Sean.
Yes, we did.
We officially finished the NFL season. 17 weeks in the books. Breaking news sound effect, please. There are 18 weeks, which
there
means
are 18 weeks.
We have bonus week of mostly meaningful games, thanks to the 7th playoff spot.
Yeah.
If we can get to 8 playoff teams, I mean, you're basically just alive until the very last week,
which is awesome.
They've eliminated opting out. They've eliminated sitting out. They've eliminated all the trash.
I don't know if they've eliminated opting out. Certain teams are clearly sitting their quarterbacks with injuries, quote unquote.
You know what? It's like I put the ball on the tee for you to hit it, because as someone who, and we're going to get to this, we're going to recap all of the $3 million of props we gave out way back in July. We're going to recap the win totals, over unders for the teams that we gave out back in August. And Sean, of course, we're going to recap our playoff picks, our playoff team picks. So we'll see how we're doing. But like
I predicted the Eagles to go to the playoffs. The Eagles are in the playoffs.
I'm pretty ashamed of the Giants pick. But like I put the ball on the tee for you, you did have the under for Daniel Jones passing touchdowns. I'm not sure why you're so upset that he's sitting out because of a neck injury.
I wasn't sweating it, Ryan. The total was sitting at 24. He had how many?
I mean, I'm not prepared to have that kind of information. 10.
So yeah, him playing these last games,
missed,
I would have been fine.
6-7 games. I mean, Sean, I don't. This offense is MVP talk. Let's not bury it. But yeah, I mean, I think with week 18 on deck, it's gonna be a sloppy DFS slate. It's gonna be an interesting betting slate. But thought it'd be good to see where we stand. You're going to be hearing things like return on investment, Sean. ROI. You're going to be hearing things like millions of dollars of hard placed bets. I can't wait till next July already. We need a ticker to when we can place our prop bets for next year.
I am excited.
All right.
I already got some leans. I'm already going under
leans. What do you mean leans?
I'm a tower. I'm the leaning tower of Pisa.
What's a lean?
I don't actually pick. I just lean. Look at me. I'm every
lean
tower.
Back.
I'm leaning. I'm not going to actually fall over. Leaning Tower of Pisa is a trip. I actually visit it, and you do get motion sickness like walking up it. And it is, it's safe, but in your head, you're like, I'm not going in that thing. It's gonna fall over at any second.
I mean, it's like when you take the inclinator at the Luxor. Like, fuck you. You people are in Vegas clearly fucked up, and you're putting them on an elevator that somehow goes diagonal. It's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. You know what is a good feeling, Ryan? The feeling knowing that we are sponsored by WynnBET, the presenting sponsor of the Sports Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. If you've been following us on Twitter at Gambling Podcast, see all the build a bets build your own bet with the win feature that we've been cranking out. And every $20 entry gives you a chance to win. You get to visit Shaq's Funhouse. I wonder if they actually have Funhouse mirrors, because Shaq in a Funhouse mirror, that's got to be crazy. The guy's already huge. What if there's one mirror that makes you look bigger? Oh no, I'm gonna ask Shaq that in person. Bet $20 and you're automatically entered. Not only do you get to hang out at Shaq's Funhouse in Los Angeles, you and 3 guests will receive a VIP experience to Shaq's Funhouse, 2 nights at the Wynn Las Vegas, a $5,000 free bet at the Wynn Las Vegas Sportsbook. Take the over, and a $5,000 travel credit. Just go over to wynnbet.com or download the Wynn betting app. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBet.
Sean, I'd like to. I bet you he's got a room with mirrors that make your junk look bigger, right?
Oh, come on, that's insane. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need that PED.
He just hires women with small hands. I understand how it works.
All right, so we'll start with the props. Start with receiver, tight end.
Let's do
and
it.
then running back and then quarterback.
You do like the receivers.
Well, I consider myself a tight end specialist, and not a great receiver tight end. I'll walk through my first couple. Or how do you want to do this, Ryan?
I don't know. I mean, I think there are some notable. Obviously, we each gave out $1 million in props for each type of prop.
Yeah,
so
just go through your 10, and
look, this is definitely the category we did worst at collectively.
Yes.
I have a couple that are still left to sweat. I'll leave those for the end. But winners: Denzel Mims under 550 and a half. I mean, some of these it's comical how well we did. He only has 133 yards. T.Y. Hilton under. I mean, just comical how easy that was. Blake Jarwin under 4.5 touchdown passes. Remember when the fantasy community was trying to tell you it was going to be him and not Darren Schultz? Then we have some of the misses, like you and I both missed on Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I was under on Waddle. Well, and then a big miss, obviously in fantasy as well, over on Robbie Anderson. I was also
I took Robbie Anderson to have the most receiving.
Jamar Chase under 7 touchdowns.
My bad. I hit the table too hard.
Yeah, Jamar Chase under 7 touchdowns. He destroyed that. Those were some of my bad ones. George Kittle. God damn you, George Kittle, my nemesis. Although now I'm like a team 49er guy, under 5.5. He finally got over. So congrats, George, on that. Some of the notable misses, and I think
you
I
did
should
go 2-1 in tight end props.
Yes,
you should point that out as a tight end specialist.
Also, I put it in the quarterback episode as a troll, but Tim Tebow not making actually bet on that one was insane. I put it in the quarterback episode
under 12.
But he was listed as a tight end.
Yeah, under 12.5 receiving yards.
So Henry, my bad beat, and arguably a worse beat for the people involved, but Henry Ruggs over 725.5 receiving yards. Man, he was on pace for that. 469 yards. It was finally his breakout game or year, and then obviously tragedy struck. So he'll never see the field again, but that's a disappointment as a gambler. And, oh man, that was brutal. But some of my wins, Devonta Smith over 775.5.
Very nice.
That was easy. And that was one of my bigger bets, 150,000. I had Cole Kmet over 495.5 receiving yards. He's already gotten there at 564. I mean, one of my bigger bets in the whole props show.
Yeah, definitely your biggest for the receivers.
240 grand out of $1 million. So almost 25% of your bankroll on this Eric Ebron under 500.5 receiving yards. He is nowhere close. He has 84 yards. We're already grading that as a win. And that was really secretly just a bet on Pat Freiermuth, but the Ebron total was insane.
Again, so it's funny to see how badly we missed and hit on some of these, and just to finish up on my side, funny enough, Sean, I took both Mike Evans and DK Metcalf to lead the league in receiving touchdowns. They're both sitting at 12. Not the worst take. Obviously, they're not going to get it. I didn't leave it as a sweat, even though 6 touchdowns in a game is possible, Sean. unlikely. My sweat. So I have a couple that are still pending.
Yes, you do have 2 sweats.
I have Cole Beasley under 795.5 receiving yards. He's on 662. I was going to mark this a win, and I was like,
mark it a win. Right?
I don't want to jinx anything. It's something silly to happen. Buffalo's
He's
still
not going to have 138 in a game.
Very much playing for something. Who knows? And then I'll have Odell Beckham under 6.5 receiving touchdowns. He's at 5.
It's 2 games. We're taping this right before the Monday night game.
Well, no,
oh wait, no, sorry. I was in
please.
my head was the Browns still.
This is probably a win as well, but I was
two is possible. I think you're right in grading that still as a sweat.
If I mark them both as wins, I will finish the receiver section up 145 grand for a 14.5% return on your investment.
I am down, even though I hit some massive winners there, down 143,000. But hey, other props are I did much better.
As a team, we're still in the black show.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. As a team,
you're welcome.
Moving over to the running back props.
Oh, and real quick, I thought it would be fun to say, like, to me, my takeaway here is why the fuck did I bet an over? I look at yours and I'm like, wow, Sean actually got a couple overs right. But I look at mine and really the only mistake I feel where like I wouldn't run it back. I'd run back the Jalen Waddle bet. I like the process there. Yeah. But Julio Jones over, that was stupid. That was just not a smart. I must have been watching some game tape of vintage Julio at some point in the offseason and got excited. So that's my key takeaway.
All right, moving over to our running back props. Ryan, you want to start here? What do you got?
I mean, we're both. I guess maybe I'll go backwards. I had a couple horrible long shot bets with Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones to lead the league in touchdowns.
Yeah, those are like stupid. 15, 30 to
David
1.
Montgomery to lead the league in rushing yards. I still like that bet.
Yeah, I do too because
would do it again. You had Dalvin Cook to go for 2,000. I like the angle.
Yeah, again,
seemed like
25
maybe someone does it. We were clearly off on Jonathan Taylor. I had him go under 12.5 rushing touchdowns, and I shamefully had Saquon Barkley comeback player of the year. Those were all my losses on the push side. Rest in peace, Gus Edwards. Loved that angle. Loved it so much when Dobbins went down, and then the fantasy gods had to screw me. And my 35% Gus
you're
Edwards
grading
ownership.
that as a push. Oh, because he never played. The snap,
it's considered a push.
No action.
Again, that Tebow bet was special. And then I very calm systemic play of Derrick Henry under 15, 55.5. That's in. Although he might be coming back to the playoffs because the Titans are going to be the 1 seed. And we were both on Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
To go over Sean, the handicap was simple. We said, hey, even when he was splitting time in Green Bay, he got there. He's already gotten there. You would have thought in your head, just seeing how the season played out, Jamal Williams not a good bet, but he still got to this number. That's how low it was. And we're both sweating the Zeke bet. I'm sweating a Najee Harris under touchdown.
Are we
bets.
sweating it? Because he has 950 rushing yards. We have under 1100. He needs 185 in a meaningless game. Well, make that green, right? Come on.
Conversation starter. I didn't want to jinx anything.
No, that's fine.
Right, we're making
grading
it green.
that green. Yes.
All right. We've marked it green.
Okay. That was a huge swing for my bankroll. And Nick Chubb. Okay, so I'll go through let's get on my sweats first, and I'll leave it up to the YouTube chat if they want to grade any of these sweats wins. Antonio Gibson under 1,025.5 rushing yards. He's sitting at 891.
They play the Giants.
Is he going to play though? Because he didn't even play last week. I know it was a hip issue. It was a COVID issue. I can't imagine they're going to be playing him, right?
I thought I would mark it as a win, but why not talk about it first?
Yes, I'm fine. Let's grade it as a win. If he all of a sudden goes off, I'm fine eating that. And then Nick Chubb under 11.5 rushing touchdowns. I thought that number was way too high. This is still in the sweat category. And
he needs 4 touchdowns.
I'm fine leaving it as a sweat.
2 games.
2 games. We'll see if they actually play people, especially in these other meaningless games. He's sitting at 8, so he needs 2 touchdowns in each game. That's possible for Nick Chubb. Again, I'm feeling pretty good about it, but not one of my bigger results. But right now, tons of winners for me in the running back area.
Before you get to it, I have Najee Harris under 6.5. He has 2 games left, and he's on. Or sorry, under 7.5. He's at 2 games left. He has 6. That's still
that's
very
all,
much
that's
a
a
sweat.
very true sweat.
Right.
I feel good for you, but all right, here's what we got. I'll get the couple losers out of the way. Mike Davis over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. I mean, I didn't see the Cordell Patterson thing coming. I just thought this was a volume play. I missed it. Luckily I got on him later in DFS and fantasy, but I complete whiff. Other one, Chris Carson. This was probably a little cute. Over for his rushing yards. I don't really know what I was thinking. It was a small bet, 75,000. The logic was just like Carroll's going to run the ball. For my wins though, Ronald Jones under 770.5 rushing yards, 50K on that. He's got 428, not even close. Like we said, we already got the Zeke win. One of my, again, I thought Ebron was the greatest prop bet, but this is close too. Christian McCaffrey under 11.5 rushing touchdowns, put $195,000, aka 19.5% of your bankroll on a bet that you didn't even get a sweat. 1 rushing touchdown.
And if you look at both of our bet tickets or bet slips for the running back category, a lot of green at the top near the bigger bets and a lot of red on the smaller bets. So just hitting the right target. I mean, the Christian McCaffrey bet maybe more comical than the Ebron bet. But maybe less comical than a quarterback prop we have coming up.
Oh yes. So also I was on Javonte Williams, which I'm surprised you didn't have as well, Kramer, because we were both very high.
We have piles and piles of more from the divisional previews.
Yeah.
One of the ones that we did, what we're able to document, we were very unanimously on Javonte Williams to have all the yards. I would say again, I felt like it was going to be a better season than it turned out to be, and he still got there. So again, Sean, we're going to Vegas next July.
Yeah.
And we're betting with all these opinions.
I'm bringing $1 million.
Jesus Christ.
So, and you mentioned the Jamal Williams win, which I went pretty big on, 165.
And again, if we just were having a conversation about Jamal Williams this year, you're not thinking he had a good year.
No.
You're like, fuck, this was a bad angle. What was I thinking drafting him in all those best ball teams? But he still got to this number. That's how badly priced it was.
So right now with the Nick Chubb sweat, although I'm optimistic, 75K on the line to win 65, under 8.5. I'm plus $403,000, 636. Let's fucking go.
Oh man, there's too much juice on this table right now. And really, like, that win isn't going to swing things a lot for you.
Oh,
like,
what do you mean? Put it as a win. If that's a win, then I'm up to 543, 854.
54%.
We'll just leave it as that, Ryan.
Okay.
I'm going to grade my sweats wins. I'm not scared of you, Nick Chubb. Come at me, Nick Chubb, and your 8 touchdowns. So, all right. Didn't do amazing on the receiver props, but now I'm up around, almost exactly 400K. Kramer, you're up 145 from the receivers.
I'm up about
175,
310, 320. I mean, mainly we're up, Sean. That's the important thing. We took your money, we invested it wisely, and unlike those goddamn CDs, we're grinding more than 3%. The quarterback category is a fun one.
Yes. Clicking over to the QB, also looking pretty good here. Again, I should have went bigger on this because it was so fun, but Tim Tebow only put 50K on it. Under 12.5 receiving yards. And action, if he didn't make the roster, that was $45,000 I made in these kind of props. What about you, Kramer? You want to walk through yours? Or?
I mean, let's just start with the highlight. I came in heavy. I said Tom Brady was going to break the all-time passing yards record in Foxborough against New England.
Very as the league turns.
It was plus 150. I mean, if we think about the value I extracted from the books, put 150K down on that. So right there, boom, I'm off to a great fucking start. I got Trevor Lawrence over 3.5 rush touchdowns. I didn't mark it as sweat. He's got 2. Probably doesn't get there in the final game of the season. Lost on some long shots with Rodgers, Herbert to have the most touchdowns, Burrow to have the most passing yards. I did mark a sweat because Burrow is now 3 back of Trevor Lawrence. He needs to have 3.
Trevor Lawrence really ran away with it with his 3 interceptions against the Patriots.
I believe he was the odds-on favorite with maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick in terms of winning that award. So probably a loss. I should probably just mark it a loss. I don't think Burrow's going to throw 3 picks in the last game to tie it. Wins. Ryan Tannehill under the passing yards. He's nowhere near the 4,200 he needed to get to. Ryan Fitzmagic. Now this one, Sean, this is Ryan Fitzmagic under 3,900 passing yards. You have to start the season for these to be action.
Yeah.
He threw for 13 yards. This has to be a near record. There are positional players who have more passing yards than him.
Oh, a lot.
This is an absolute just bludgeoning by me on the books. Big Ben under 3,900 passing yards. I do like him to pass for a lot of yards tonight, and he does have 2 games left, Sean. He's 525 yards short.
This is almost a sweat.
Should I mark it sweat?
It almost is. Because I mean his total for tonight's game is like 240, right?
Yeah,
and you know he's
for today. I don't know, but all right, I'll leave it as a sweat. And then Josh Allen under 8 rushing touchdowns, which
that's probably good. You're sitting at 6
into this thinking, all right, I'm good. He had 2 this week.
Yeah,
like so. I marked it a sweat. I'll leave it a sweat. I'm sitting down a little bit right now. Obviously, the Big Ben, the Josh Allen, they're leaning my favor, but I'll leave it. I'm currently down 195K. Now, if both of those come in on my side, I'll be up 240K. So you see the literal swing we're on. Do I hedge? I kind of am. I'm taking overs on Big Ben Monday Night Football. If you're listening on Tuesday in the past, so hopefully it doesn't sound stupid, but. Sean, how about you? What you I think you smoked the maybe a quarterback specialist.
Okay, we'll start with my sweats, and oh man, they are close. So I have Sam Darnold under 14 and a half interceptions, because part of it was like I didn't. You know,
this is pretty funny that you have to sweat this. He hasn't played a lot of games.
This should have been an easy cash. Instead, he's sitting. It's at 14 and a half. He's sitting at 12. He very easily could throw 3.
It's a sweat that it would be a bad beat if you lost this one.
And then the other one I'm sweating, which again, I don't think I'm sweating. Well, maybe I am, because Zach Wilson over 13 and a half interceptions. He's sitting at 11. 3 is very much in the Zach Wilson range, and they're playing.
He's playing better.
Yeah, they are playing the Bills, right? So that certainly is a possibility. I would say, why don't we grade Darnold as a win, Ryan?
Okay.
Wilson as a loss, just because they're about similarly priced, and
you just want to see how big this number is.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
So my biggest bet of the QB area was Tua under 4,000 passing yards, 200K. Let's go. That was a
pretty easy,
pretty big bet.
2,500 yards. Sean.
Yeah,
he's not going to hit 3,000.
Derek Carr over 40, 50 and a half.
Keep winning on these overs, Sean.
Ka-ching. Carson Wentz under 38, 50 and a half. I thought I would get this because of injury. You know, he had that foot thing. I got the bet in before the foot thing, or maybe a benching. But I'm going to get this just on him not throwing the ball.
You're not worried he's going to throw for 500 yards in the last game of the season?
No, not at all. He's at 3,378. He needs he needs essentially 500 yards. I'm grading that as a win. And then we went. Oh, so my 2 losses are definite losses already. Tom Brady under 9.5 interceptions. He threw 12. He's lost a little zip, some tip balls in there. Only had 75K on that. Also lost 75K on Ryan Fitzpatrick over 14 and a half interceptions. I don't know what I was thinking. Really just lean to all unders and remind us that, especially in these old guys who are probably going to get hurt.
You have the biggest takeaway here as I look through all the bets, the ones where I'm like, that was stupid, are all related to overs.
Yeah.
Period.
One of my other big ones, Jalen Hurts, 150K over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. He's sitting on 10. Let's go, rare breed, untamed. I knew he was going to get a lot of goal line work, and that one was at plus 100. You didn't even have any juice on that. 150 to win 150. Daniel Jones under 24 passing touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
came in at 10 passing touchdowns, which
it is less than 24.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was pretty easy. I mean, Daniel Jones was coming off a year when he threw 11 touchdowns in 14 games.
Got to get Pat Shurmur back in the house.
So even my logic was, even if he doubled his passing touchdowns, he was still going to fall short. He was not able to surpass his 11 passing touchdowns, knocked it down to 10. So R.I.P. Danny Dimes there.
Fun fact: your Ryan Fitzpatrick bet would have hit the under on pass attempts on the season.
That's insane. Yeah.
That's
R.I.P. Fitzmagic was such a fun guy to root for.
Yeah, agree with that.
Total, Ryan, walking away with $458,000, 191. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how mine come in, but if assuming everything ends as it should, which is with, I'm going to optimistically 240K for me, up 24%. Right. So, I mean, did we leave anything ungraded? Just the Najee Harris one ungraded, because that one scares me. But Sean, if we tally it all up, carry we'll call it about. I'm up about 550K.
Nice.
Over $500,000 in your pocket. Hopefully you invested the $1 million. I can't help you if you didn't invest the full amount. That's not on me, Sean.
Yes.
Big numbers here, Sean. You didn't do too much in the wide receiver and tight end section.
That was my.
But you made up for it everywhere else. Up over $800,000.
Oh my God!
So that's combined. We turned your $6 million.
Yes.
Into over 7 million, $7.5 million. I mean,
so that's what, a 25% return on investment. When you're the loser who has your money in a 401k, stocks. Come on,
crypto and sports betting pussies. Let's go.
25% return on investment. All right, got to talk some win totals as well. Before we do that, I want to make sure you head over to PropSwap.com, where America goes to buy and sell real sports bets. One of the bets I've been talking about all year is this Mac Jones to win Rookie of the Year. And I don't know, if you have one of those tickets at 13-1, you may want to list it over at PropSwap.com, because right now, if you look at some of the odds, Jamar Chase is actually minus money to get it done. I still think it goes to a quarterback, but man, you may want to hedge out right now.
Plus 175 Mac Jones right now.
That's crazy. I mean, still a good. Again, that's what's awesome about PropSwap. You bought the ticket at plus 1300. Now you can get out at plus 175. And the best part is you get that sweet deposit bonus. All you got to do is go to PropSwap.com and use promo code SGP. That's PropSwap.com. Promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by Better Fantasy, man. Fantasy football season may be over, but that doesn't mean you still can't have fun over at betterfantasy.com/SGPN. Plenty of free to play prop games, all that. And it's great. It's free to play. And you get sweet credits that you can cash in for gift cards. betterfantasy.com/SGPN. BETTOR fantasy.com/SGPN. Kramer, let's talk. What are we going to talk here? Win totals?
Yeah, we can talk win. Do you want to talk? You want to start with talking about the teams we picked to go to the playoffs? You want to finish with that?
No, we can do that now.
I mean, the win totals are. We can rapid fire, I guess, through the win totals. The hottest of take. I mean, here's what we're still sweating. How about that?
Yeah.
Bills. We both have the over. We both locked up them to win the division. Very bullish on the Bills. We both gave out Bills Bucks division parlays in there. That's a sweat down to the wire. I mean, listen, Sean, I can't believe it, but we're sweating a push. So we're sweating the division. They got to win to get that done as well. So I can't believe it. Feels a little bit like this team underperformed. Still like their Super Bowl futures. Interesting. I had the other sweats. Colts. I'm on the over. You're on the under, Sean. Again, interesting that we're sitting here. 9 is the total. So we're sitting on a push win for me as they sit at 9-7, correct? So you're hoping for a push. Carson Wentz.
Can he lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars? The answer is yes.
Probably not, but it is possible. We're also sweating the Chargers, who are sitting. I had the over. You had the under. 9.5 is the number here, Sean. They sit today at 9. So neither one of us will push in this case. And then the on the other side, the NFC, we're pretty much everything is settled in all three of the divisions that aren't the NFC South. The NFC South over. I have over on the Falcons, which somehow is still alive, Sean. You have under. That's going to come down to week 18. Saints. We both have the under. I locked it up. That's going to come down to week 18. And Bucks. Sean, the Bucks are going to need the last extra bonus week of the season to get over their lofty win total of 12, which they're sitting at right now. So can't lose. But yeah, I know we kind of locked up the Bucks. A lot of obvious takes this year. I mean, if you look at my playoff teams, you're gonna be like, wow, did you see the future?
My NFC East went 3-1. Had the under on the Redskins, under on the Giants, over on the Eagles. Only miss was on the Cowboys.
Sean deployed the under on everyone else strategy, and the Cowboys unfortunately were good this year.
NFC North, yeah, we both locked up Packers over, Vikings under. That hit. I was optimistic about the Bears. They fell apart. That was one of my locks there that didn't feel that great. Kramer, you were correctly on the under on the Bears. Yeah, like I said, NFC South is kind of a crapshoot still.
It's a middling year. I feel like we're our locks are. We have a couple pending locks are both 6 and 8 in the totals. Yeah, doesn't feel like we performed well. Not like the props, Sean.
No props. Well, there's
this to me. This was the season of props. Props like saved my year. Both win like ATS picks. Not as good as the prop picks.
Well, props also too. You can shop numbers. You can find some easier stuff. The win total is usually the sharpest stuff. So I would never go crazy on the win totals too, because injuries, everything else.
Oh, next year we're driving out to Vegas,
just taking under on every single player prop I can find.
Like just bags of cash, and we're just going to invest everything. All right.
I'll just rattle off my AFC, NFC conferences here. I had the Bills as the 1 seed. That's not looking horrible. Chiefs is the 2 seed. Steelers is the 3 seed. That's not going to happen. Titans is the 4 seed. Okay. Ravens, they're not making it. Broncos, they've been eliminated, and then Browns. So I wasn't high on the Browns. I mean, I had them 9 and 8.
I was surprised.
I should have went. I felt like I was shocked when I look back at this, because I was always kind of down on them, but I think even 9 and 8 was pretty down on them compared to the market. Obviously, we both had the Bengals at 2 and 15, which is probably our worst prediction in the NFL this year. What run through your AFC, Ryan?
Ravens as the 1 seed, obvious miss there, but Bills 2 seed, Chiefs 3 seed, Titans 4 seed, Chargers 5 seed. Steelers 6 seed and Patriots 7 seed. So it's looking like I'm going to land on 5 out of 7 teams correct. Not the worst thing. And then on the NFC, or did you give out your NFC yet? You haven't.
No.
Yeah, I have. That's right. We need you should go last so you can play the music and talk about your Eagles prediction. I had the Packers as the 1 seed. I'm going to toot the old horn there. Nailed it. As the 2 seed, the Seahawks. I was close. Probably going to be someone from that division, but wrong team. 3 seed Bucks. I had the 4 seed Giants. Just going to take a 1 game suspension, 1 episode suspension for that. The Niners as a 5 seed. Looks like I might get that. It's looking like they're going to be in, right?
Actually, no. The Saints are kind of favored to get in above them.
So we'll see. I could get that one wrong as well.
It's
and then,
close though.
Then I have the Rams as a wild card and the Panthers as a wild card. Strangely though, Sean, I do have the Rams and the Packers playing for the conference final. So still alive there. I mean, honestly, I have my final 4 is intact: Chargers, Bills, Packers, Rams.
Let's
fucking go.
Let's see. My number 1 seed in the NFC. I had them going all the way to the Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks. Russ, you let me down. I thought this year really could have went 2 ways. I thought it was going to be the positive way for the Seahawks. Just completely unraveled. Pouty Russ. Well, and Russ got hurt too. Like, and which is strange because he had that streak of never missing a game, always winning double digits. It was easy money or so I thought. Probably, not a great prediction there. Seahawks number 1, Bucks the 2 seed. So not far off that. I had the Packers at the 3 seed. Again, obviously they're in the mix. I had the Eagles, the 4 seed. No one had the Eagles making the playoffs. That's plus 200. And I have the Eagles beating the Rams in a playoff game, which is not out of the realm of possibilities. I had the Rams at 5, Bears at 6 who didn't make it, and then Panthers at 7 who, again, the love affair with the Panthers and Matt Rule appears to be coming to an end, right?
We were the first program I heard talking about Matt Rule getting fired. Sounds like it could happen.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I still think him, with the quarterback, maybe I want to see it, but he hasn't really shown, much like a lot of coaches out there. You haven't shown anything in 2 years. Why would you give them a chance to bring in a quarterback and do things their way? Doesn't really make sense. Ryan, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I see what you're trying to do.
What I was? Oh, if you
I
think
also
I was going,
know what you're saying. Thank you.
Well, you get sad whenever I bring up the New York Giants, so I didn't want to bring up the Giants. But
what am I sad about? The 25% ROI we brought the D-Gens.
No,
only?
There's nothing to be sad about there.
The 4 correct teams left in the final 4 of the NFL that I have picked. If we want, do you want to go further out? Because I'm sitting on 5 of 8. 5 of 8. That's not very good. I'm not touting that.
Oh, right. Here are we have some of these other prop picks. Oh, did you go through all the division prop picks, Ryan?
Yes, I mean some of them are worth. I know that you're going to want. We don't have everything written down, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. We've got some gremlins, but there are some other nice winners in there.
Giants no playoffs at minus 300. Hit that. Eagles NFC East at plus 500 didn't hit that. That was close.
Just the worst.
NFC Eagles to win the conference at 50-1. That's still alive. Let's go. Moving over to the NFC North. Chicago to make the playoffs. I did not have that. I mean, we were both on Chicago, Green Bay to win the division at plus 160. That was so easy, man.
I mean, if you listen to me, you're sitting on 6-1 to win the conference.
Yeah, which is a great price. I mean, I think they're down all the way to like plus 300 to win the Super Bowl. So the conference price has to be crazy. NFC South, anyone? I had Panthers winning record. That was obviously never going to happen. Division for the Bucks, we gave out at minus 200, which that was never really a sweat. That's a pretty good one.
I mean, I think we went as far to say that they were going to win the division by like maybe we gave out a spread, maybe like a -2 on them to win the division by 2 games.
NFC West, I gave out some. We were both on some Seahawks futures. That didn't look great. Cardinals to miss playoffs. That had a shot, but they're in. I did also throw Niners last place or I gave that as a prediction last in the division. That didn't hit because of the Seahawks falling apart. Missed playoffs at plus 150, still kind of alive there. AFC East, we're both sweating out the Bills to win the division. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, and going real quick, I smashed the JJ Watt under 8.5 sacks, which shout out to injuries that got home pretty easily.
Browns. This is funny. I don't know what I did because I did give out Browns to miss the playoffs at plus 175, but then I think I included them in my predictions.
Well, what happens is I sift through all the records and I probably said, hey, you have 3 teams at 9 and 8.
Yeah.
Which one makes the playoffs? And you know,
yeah,
it was probably
I foolishly gave that out.
You gave out a plus 175 winner.
AFC South was really my division. I gave out the Texans to be in 3rd place at plus 300. Also gave out the exact result of Titans, Colts, Texans, Jags that paid something crazy. Jags to miss playoffs was minus 400. I gave that out. Jags to be in 4th place was plus 400. Titans to make playoffs was minus 150, and Titans to win the division minus 105. So really dominant performance on the AFC South.
Yeah, that we essentially had the conversation about why are the Jags getting any love? They should be finishing fourth. Then I think live on the show figured out, or maybe we had prepared something, but we figured out on the show that somehow the Texans were like huge odds to finish third, not fourth, and vice versa. And once you parlayed it together, it became I want to say it was like a 19-1, 20-1 type bet.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of these AFC West ones. Clyde Edwards-Helaire under 975.5 rushing yards. I'm pretty sure that came in.
Well, he was hurt again. The lesson is just these injuries. I mean, if you learn anything from best ball or playing these props, just bet unders. Even if it feels like you like an over, like even the over Sean won, he'll tell you.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right.
No, they're a little fortunate, but just go hard on the unders. Bernie McBurner checking in on the live YouTube channel, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Can Joe Judge, Ryan, be held in contempt of his own court?
Yeah, he can.
All right. No more Giants talk.
Why not?
Man, we got
people want to hear it. Obviously. I mean, you're interested.
No, I just want to hear you say Joe Judge sucks and should be fired.
I said Joe Judge is not acting like someone who has things under control. Joe Judge is not acting like someone who, again, if the general contractor you hired to redo your house is acting like Joe Judge is acting, something's wrong. There you go. That's all.
We got an awesome week of shows coming up. We got college basketball Tuesday, DFS Wednesday, NFL pick show Thursday, and then college football national championship bonus show there Friday as well. And of course, make sure you go to sobet.io/SGPN. Get in on some social gambling, aka me versus you. Maybe you want to get down on this Monday Night Football action where the Steelers started out as 3.5 point dogs. Now all of a sudden, like 3 point favorites, crazy line swing. But that's what's fun about SoBet. You can you put your money where your mouth is. It's free to play. SoBet.io/SGPN. Very easy to connect third party payment options as well. Colby is my dad 420. How sick would it be if you guys did a play-by-play for tonight's show? I'm assuming he's talking Monday Night Football, but yeah, maybe we will be got some of those coming. Also have some more sim stuff coming up. Stay tuned for that. Man, there's so much happening here. Got to download the app. Stay involved.
Football.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
Sean, it was a 20-1 bet. Exact result, AFC South.
Kramer, let it ride.